How Saudi government arrested, detained Sheikh Gumi in 2010 for allegedly having links with terrorists. In 2010, a popular Kaduna-based Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi was arrested and detained for over 6 months by the Saudi Arabian government for allegedly relating with the Nigerian underwear bomber and terrorist Farouk Abdul Mutalab. Sahara reporters gathered that Gumi was arrested in February 2010 in Mecca on the request of the United States government for exchanging emails with Abdul Mutalab. It was learned that the Islamic cleric, who is currently advocating for bandits in Nigeria to be granted amnesty and not called criminals after meeting them, was arrested after the US security browsed through Abdul Mutalab's email and found out he corresponded with him shortly before he attempted to bomb a plane on the 25th of December 2009 in the US. Gumi was first taken to Jeddah but was returned to Mecca and put under house arrest for many months before the intervention of the Nigerian government. Abdul Mutalab, then 23, had unsuccessfully tried to denote a bomb to his underwear aboard a Northwest Airlines flight from Amsterdam that was about landing in Detroit, Michigan, with 289 people on board. The device failed, but the terrorist became enveloped in a fireball that spread to the wall and carpeting of the plane. 4 passengers quickly restrained him and helped out the fire, witnesses said, and he was escorted up to the first-class section of the plane and was taken into custody by US authorities when it landed. Abdul Mutalab later acknowledged in a courtroom statement that he had traveled to Yemen and was greatly inspired to participate in such a plot by US-born militant cleric Anwar al-Awlaki, who was killed by a US drone strike in Yemen in September. US officials later said that the terror group Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula had helped foment the failed attack. I carried with me an explosive device to avenge the killing of innocent Muslims, Abdul Mutalab said in the statement, adding that the failed plot was in retaliation for US tyranny and oppression of Muslims. He was sentenced to 4 life terms plus 50 years without parole on the 16th of February 2012. Wow. Now this is strong. This makes total sense. It is very shocking, but makes total sense, and it makes Nigerians, have some sort of clarity as to why this man is like this. Because if he was arrested for having relations with terrorists by the Arabian government, then we can't be surprised when he's advocating for amnesty for these bandits. The first reaction here says, now we can clearly see why Gumi hobnobs with bandits terrorizing Nigeria. He was playing on the intelligence of the government and raising money for criminals to fortify themselves and probably get his cut too. True? Because if this man was targeted even by by the US, obviously he's had failed attacks or with the links with the terrorists, as said in the article. They've been failed attacks, so obviously that really shows it falls back on him as well because of his relations that he has had. But yeah, it's not surprising. It really is not surprising right now. Someone says that man Gumi has an hidden agenda, and he should be studied and investigated on his activities. He was once against the government, and now he's the chief negotiator of the bandits. Exactly. It's so shady how all of a sudden people just switch sides. You switch sides. It's so sad. It's so sad. Someone says now he's still on business in Nigeria and the zoological government are saying nothing. Mad people everywhere. Honestly, this news should really trend because then Nigerians will literally backlash this man because he really needs it. I mean, not that I don't know what impact it might have, but I don't know. I think Nigerians need to start bullying the Nigerian government to 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 answer questions, because this peaceful thing, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and that's what they understand. So we need to apply pressure on this government. We need to make things trend first of all, and to I don't know. We need to have like some strikes or something that would affect their broadcast of whatever BS that they want to give to Nigerians. Huh. Somebody says the if Nigeria is a nation of law and order, Gumi would be in jail. True. And somebody says Sahara. This news was actually unsubstantiated, because actually Sheikh was detained in Saudi Arabia for his alleged involvement in terrorism by his enemy in the Western world, but later he was released and acquitted after being found innocent and later being given compensation for the damages by the Saudi government, but not with the intervention of the Nigerian government. Oh, really? I don't know how I'm going to take this, but this man is done at here. He really is done at here. Someone says you can imagine how the terrorists have been negotiating with the government to integrate bandits to armed forces. Why not? Why not? And then, you are shocked as to how it's taking Nigeria so long to defeat Boko Haram and other, terror. It's like, okay, wow, yeah, I know a lot of things do happen behind the public eye, but when it's still, I don't know. Now that this is released, I believe that Nigerians should not take this lightly. They really shouldn't, because why should they? They can't just... Sad. Somebody says, sometimes I imagine if a terrorist would be emboldened if we had military dictator as president or head of state. Well, it's not going to be a democracy then, because then we also wouldn't have privileges in terms of talking against the government. And of course, when it comes to oppression, they'd literally have a rule like that. Someone here says, this religion bigot is a fugitive in Saudi Arabia, but due to our government's inability to perform its own functions, effectively here he is a free man who is mediating with the government and criminal elements. True? Because it really did stir up a lot of anger amongst Nigerians as to why he's negotiating and gunning for them to have amnesty. So he wants his cut too. He does. So shameful. Put what think about it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.